Hello, hello, everybody. It is Larissa, and I am so happy and excited to be here. We have a very special guest coming on to our live right away, and we're just going to wait for her to pop on. Her name is Amber Morgan. I think a few of you have met her in the past. Her over. And today we are talking all about how to create 10x growth in your business. And I remember, Amber and I met online, and she's just been amazing. Oh, hello. And
hello.
So when I think about you, you are literally like the angel that just fell into my lap. It's awesome. We met and we chatted a little bit and forgot about each other, and then we reconnected, and it's been just like explosive ever since. So I want to thank you for joining me today, because I know I've had requests to bring you back. I've had you on once before, but I did have some people ask you to come back on. And today, like I said, we're talking all about how to create 10x growth in your business and beyond, because this is what you help people do. And it's not just like pretend. It's not like, ooh, let's take another course. You literally and we've seen it over and over again. You've literally helped like hundreds. I don't know how many you've helped, but I know you and your company has helped hundreds and thousands of entrepreneurs create 6- and 7-figure leaps in your business. And it's not just you, it's you and your team. And you guys have the best machine and system going that can really help support this. So Amber is one of my personal coaches, and I work with several people because I think all coaches need coaches for different things. And she's definitely a VIP in my life. And so you're my accountability advisor through Unstoppable Entrepreneur. And maybe I'll just let you tell viewers a little bit more about yourself, because I know there's so much more to Amber than just the business work that you do. So why don't you let us know a little bit more about who you are and what it is that you do?
Sure. Oh, Larissa, you're so sweet. And thank you so much for having me on again. Our friendship has just been one that's really lit up my life too. Your drive, your passion. I know that your community is absolutely in love with what you do, and you are an incredible force who is actually passionate about changing the lives of others. And those are the people that I want to surround myself with. So I feel the same way about you. And thank you so much for inviting me to spend a little bit more time with you. It's true. My name is Amber Morgan, for those of you that I haven't had the opportunity to meet yet. And I am one of the accountability advisors inside the Unstoppable Entrepreneur, which was started by Kelly Roach. And I'm also the co-director for Legacy Builders, which is actually our second tier program, where we focus on all things as it pertains to team, infrastructure, systems, and team development in order to actually scale in a sustainable way. Sometimes people think, the fastest route to the top is the road that they need to take, but it's not always sustainable. And so we really uncover those types of strategies in that second tier program, Legacy Builders. And it's true, my full-time job is phenomenal. I feel honored that I get to spend all day, every day, working one-on-one with passionate entrepreneurs of all different stages of business, really working with them to come up with an individualized strategic plan based on their individualized goals and the life that they want to create, and really pulling that into every day and coming up with strategies so that we can make sure that we have some sound systems in place moving forward to make those 6- and 7-figure leaps in their business. And so it's not frou-frou, it's not frilly, it is hard work. It is a lot of strategic thinking. It's a lot of action taking, right? It's not is what we get a lot of in the online space right now. It's not information overload. And then, here's our gift to you of 5,000 more trainings, and best of luck if you do all of these steps by yourself. Then you're going to be, the self-made millionaire. What it is an individualized one-on-one type of person paired with community that really focuses on the accountability piece, focuses on the action and the implementation, to really make sure that we're following through to get the outcomes and the results that we want.
Mm-hmm. And I think that's beautiful because, I mean, I love business. I love studying the concepts and the philosophies and the theories of it. And I've done and I've implemented many of the things, but there's always in my past been a missing step or something that I can't see. It's almost like I can't see the forest through the trees because it's right in front of me. And that's one thing I think that I've certainly experienced with you is you give me one thing to focus on and you say, go do that. And a lot of other stuff gets done, but we always have that one key target. You help me stay focused on the next absolute most important step, which sometimes under other circumstances I would have overlooked, or I might have let something else, another fire, get in the way. And so that accountability has been absolutely huge, I know, especially in my case and in my experience. And so you mentioned one-on-one along with the community. So community is my theme of the week. And I think you cannot get anywhere on your own. Like, you have to do the work by yourself, but you're not going to achieve any significant level of success by yourself. And while it is a lot of work, it's not the kind of work that you may anticipate. It's a different way, a different level of thinking, a different way of thinking, a different way of strategizing. Mm-hmm. So can you talk about the community that you have within the Unstoppable Entrepreneur and definitely beyond?
Yes, of course. And I love what you mentioned, actually, Larissa, because community is so important for so many different reasons. But the one thing that you mentioned right off the bat is mindset, right? Mm-hmm. It takes a lot of hard work to be the visionary. It takes a lot of hard work to be an entrepreneur, right? And in order to be the 1% in our industries, in order to be those top people, right? In order to be the people that come to us, right? We have to be the 1%. And in order to be the 1%, that means that we have to be willing to step in and to actually do what 99% of people aren't willing to do, right? So just because of the way the numbers line up, that means that it can be a really lonely road, a really, really lonely road. And there's high highs, but there's also really low lows. And so as it pertains to mindset, community is absolutely imperative. You've got to put yourself and surround yourself in a room of the people who are also the other 1%. Right?
Absolutely.
That's number one. You've got to do that. And the old saying goes that you kind of become the 5 people closest to you. So mm-hmm. really taking ownership and choosing who those 5 people are going to be. Right? And for me, I know that I've got goals, and in order to achieve those goals, it's absolutely crucial that I put myself in a room with people that share that mindset. So creating and becoming really protective about that community. And I think that's so important as you're speaking about yourself as an entrepreneur and you're talking to other entrepreneurs. That's kind of the internal piece of why community is so important. But the other piece of that is as it pertains to the results that we actually get for our clients, right? So in the Unstoppable Entrepreneur Program, we actually have a hybrid, right? There are one-on-one elements to our program, but there are also, on purpose, community elements to the program, because what we found through the years is that actually when we looked objectively at the clients that were strictly one-on-one and the clients that were actually utilizing more group strategies, the clients that were seeing the best results in the fastest amount of time were actually those that were in the group programs. And there's a couple of different reasons for that, right? You kind of get your one-on-one piece. You need somebody that's going to be all in on you. Yeah. You need somebody that's going to know the ins and outs of your business. You need somebody that's going to know your personality, that knows and shares your vision. Sometimes we're so far in the weeds that we need somebody that knows our vision but can kind of look from an outside view. And so mm-hmm. you get that from the one-on-one piece. But the other piece that really accelerates results is by pairing that with different layers of community. So for instance, that might look a little bit different, but we recommend a Facebook group, right? Having a big community where we know that everyone that's in there is being taught the same foundational principles that Larissa, for instance, teaches, right? You know that all of the people that are in there share the same type of mindset. They're interested in the same things, right? You're able to encourage one another as kind of a big community, but you already know that they've all been trained in the same way and that they're all pacing through the same type of material. The other way that we do is kind of smaller knit groups, right? We do something that we love. It's one of my favorite times all week. And we call it office hours. And that's an even smaller group within that larger group where now we're establishing really close connections, right? So now naturally what happens is you start to keep each other accountable. You've got your one-on-one person, but now Larissa meets another friend and, you know, they see that friend progressing and then they say, Larissa, come on, I want you to do this too. This worked really well for me, right? So it gives and provides different layers of support that ultimately directly impact the results and the outcomes that you're going to get.
Beautiful. And I think this, just as you were talking about community, it really reminded me of a time when I was involved in the Tony Robbins community, and I love that community. I think it's beautiful. Yeah. And my husband and I, we went to his introductory seminar, which is Unleash the Power Within. Mm-hmm. And I mean, we booked it a month or two in advance. We showed up. There's 7 or 10 or 15,000. There was a lot of people there, and it was great. And I remember sitting by this couple, and they're like, we've been waiting and saving to come to this event for like 10 years. And it really put it into perspective that for us, this is just the natural thing. And for some people, this is like maybe the one highlight that they'll ever get. And they don't have these opportunities. Whereas we just take advantage of these opportunities all the time because we know the power of being around these people. And as we progressed in his trainings, the more exclusive the trainings got, the less it was about just the content, but also you're spending time with and being driven by some extremely high quality individuals. The relationships we were able to build and the network we built was just out of this world because high quality people spend time with high quality people, and they have the means, they have the desire, they see the value in taking advantage of exclusive opportunities. You're not just going to get anyone that's like, oh, I read a book and I'm going to show up and start a business. You're actually looking for people, and you're helping people that are highly driven and motivated and are doing something. And I think that's a huge piece of it for me because the people in the UE program that I've noticed, I mean, people are doing such very, very cool things in that community. Some are similar to what I do. Many are so different. And I'm just like, how do you come up with this? But hats down, because it gives me that juice and that energy and that fire to be driven by even that. So it's exciting. That's an exciting piece for me. I don't know if I've ever shared that with you. So if you were to give viewers your top 3 tips to create 10x growth, because that's what we're talking about today, top 3 tips to create 10x growth. And I mean, there's a lot of things out there, like you said, that are fly by night online, but you guys do this predictably, consistently over and over with people in your programs. And when you work with certain rules, when you work with certain laws, when you work with certain systems, you get predictable results if you do the work. And so what would you say are your top 3 tips to create 10x growth?
Yeah, it is true. You know, we're trained business strategists, right? Mm-hmm. Like that is what we are. We're not selling, you know, one method over here and one course over here. And, you know, we are trained in how to build and strategically grow exponentially businesses. Yeah. And so when I'm thinking across the board over hundreds and hundreds of clients, and again, you know, we've got a team of 50 now of full-time people that are highly, highly trained in how to execute this across different industries. It really comes down to 3 key things. Regardless of the industries, regardless of your niche, regardless of your, you know, ideal client market, it's going to come down to 3 things and making sure, because you can't build a business in theory, right? A lot of you have to do the things, you have to take the actions, even if you're a little bit unsure. And so over years and years of what we've seen, it's going to come down to vision, systems, and people. And so I'm going to go into each of these three things just a little bit more, just to provide a little bit more insight, I think. Regardless of industry, you have to have utmost clarity about your vision, about what you want to do in the world, about what you want your business to look like, but also who you want your business to be in the world, right? And the reason that that is so important is because you have to have such crystal clarity around what that vision is, because it will trickle down into every other thing that you do. It's going to pull into marketing, of course, right? But more important than that, you're going to need to be able to articulate with certainty who your business is, how it's going to impact the lives of others, and being able to articulate that well is exactly what's going to inspire people to follow you, right? So this is not only going to translate directly to sales, but it's also going to translate to really getting people to buy in as you're hiring, right? And so when we talk about being the CEO and being this entrepreneur, right, kind of heading this up, we've got big ideas and big visions, but we've got to be able to pull them in and speak articulately, because right now what we see as a possibility and as what's coming for sure for everyone else around us is still a world that's non-existent yet. And so we need to be able to speak about that in a way where we can actually brick by brick lay a path and a framework and a blueprint to make that vision tangible. So having clarity around your vision, what you want your business to look like, what you want your life to look like, number one, and designing the business around that, but also around who your business will be in the world is absolutely number one. Regardless of industry or who you're going to serve, you have to have clarity around that.
I love
Number
that.
two is going to be around systems, right? This is a business, right? So we've got to have a way that's tried and true to make some money, right? That is a piece of what we do, right? So we've got, it's a piece that deserves time and energy and some strategic thinking to make sure that we're really giving it the energy that it deserves in order to translate again into the outcomes that we want. So this is kind of twofold. Number one, lead generation strategies. We've got to identify for you and your business model what lead generation strategies are going to be the most impactful in order to drive the numbers. We can't sell anything, we can't bring in a revenue if we don't have anyone to sell to, right? Mm-hmm. So we've got to get the numbers there, we've got to get the volume there. Now, ideally, the safest way to do that is by kind of this basket weave approach, right? You don't ever want to depend on just one stream or one tactic to be getting in front of audiences, right? So if you can afford it, some people will utilize ads, right? But I want to talk to you about a couple of different organic lead strategies that you can be implementing, because regardless of what stage of business you're in, you always want to continue to have organic lead strategies built in as part of getting in front of other audiences. So one thing might be joint visibility opportunities, right? It might be doing summits with other, related thought influencers. It might be doing podcast guesting. It might be, doing a master coach session for someone else's community that's similar, but it's not a competition. It's more of a value add. And so there might be joint visibility opportunities that you're going to look into, right? You might also be looking at strategies that are really just outreach, right? How can I get my brand out there? How can I heighten the awareness for my name and for what I do and become one of the names that people associate, like, oh, Larissa's always in here. She's always talking about XYZ. This is what Larissa does. I haven't met Larissa, but I hear her and see her all over the place, right? You start to make these associations. So that comes with outbound messaging and these outwardly facing, reaching out to cold audiences, right? That is a piece of it. The other thing that you need to make sure that you're leveraging is a really, really strong referral marketing program. We know that referrals are the safest way to go. We know that they are the easiest leads to convert. We know that they are the warmest. They already have that know, like, trust factor and a lower barrier to entry because people trust the people that are close to them, right? So if I've worked with Larissa in the past and I cannot stop speaking about how my life has been completely changed, then because the other people in my life trust me, they're going to take my word for it. So you really want to make sure that you've got a really strong and sound referral marketing system in place. So really marrying different pools and streams to bring in different leads is going to be really key. The other thing is how we're actually going to bring in the sales, right? We've got to identify at least one strong sales strategy where we can actually bring in people. For us at The Unstoppable Entrepreneur, we actually created, Kelly Roach is the founder of what we call the live lunch method. And that is a method that many of our clients learn and refer.
Oh, your sound. There we go. You're back. You're back.
Utilize in their own businesses. I'm back. Okay. So we actually utilize the live lunch method, and we teach many of our clients to do that, but not all of our clients utilize that same strategy, right? Some clients that you may know in your own networks might utilize boot camps. They might utilize summits. They might utilize, different networking events or different sort of, affiliate types of opportunities, right? So whatever that sales process is going to be for you, we've got to make sure that we're committing to mastering that sales process to make sure that not only do we have leads coming in, but we have something that's tried and true, refined, tweaked, and mastered in order to actually be bringing in sales that we then can actually be budgeting off of, that we can actually project what these numbers are going to look like moving forward, right? And then the third piece is team, right? These first two, right? The vision, coming up with systems for people and for how to close people. This is kind of foundational, but the way that we're going to scale comes down to people. I have clients that ask me all the time, right? I'm at my first 6 figures. How am I going to get to my next 6 figures? How am I going to cross over that 7-figure mark? And when you oversimplify everything, it comes down to people. You just simply can't do it all, right? People is the thing that will allow you to scale in a sustainable way, right? We kind of talked about that a little bit earlier, right? But you can't do it all. And we need to make sure that as the CEO, we're moving you out of that sole producer role and we're positioning and really delegating some of these tasks so that you can do things that only you can do. It's the only way to avoid you becoming the bottleneck in your business. It's the only way to avoid you getting stuck in service delivery. And it is the only path to eventually get you to a self-led business that runs without you, right? So we've got to be bringing people on. And as you're making that transition to hiring people, there also has to be a transition in the way that you're leading. We need to make sure that the mindset shift happens between managing in a really transactional way where, okay, we know that if you follow X, Y, and Z, we're going to get this outcome, and really make the mindset shift to you wanting to lead and develop the next generation of leaders within your company. Again, to make sure that now we're giving them ownership. They're taking ownership. They're becoming CEOs of their own desk. They share in your vision because you've been so clear about laying that out, and they want to impact the world with you, that it propels the business forward. So we've got to actually believe in them that they can do that. We've got to empower them and equip them to do that appropriately. We've got to make sure that we're challenging them as leaders. Growth doesn't come without a bit of friction, right? In order to grow, we have to have a little bit of friction, and we also need to be prepared to correct them when necessary. So really, if you're implementing vision and a clear vision and really mastering the art of articulating and making that tangible for your audience, that's number one. Coming up with sound strategies, especially as it pertains to lead generation and sales, and then team. And the way that we're approaching team building. If you're implementing these 3 things, I guarantee you'll 10x your business.
And that is why we have people like you to help keep us on track. And I think that's wonderful. So Um, step one is, I took notes. Vision, systems, and team.
Yes.
And I think that they're simple things, and it's not like the first time we've heard of these concepts. We know them when we've heard them, but I think when you actually apply them effectively and weave them into all parts of your business and have it happening consistently, we as entrepreneurs are maybe passionate about one part of our business or about really letting our superpowers shine. And the idea of operating a business for many entrepreneurs isn't what they wanted. They want to just do what they love and what they're passionate about. And I think once you have the systems in place, the systems can operate as that foundation. So you can be free to go off and implement that vision, to live your vision. But you got to have those systems and you've got to have the team. So it's all foundational. It all works together. And I think it's beautiful. Yeah. So you have got, I know the Kelly Roach has another live launch method workshop. So you guys have a 5-day free workshop. It's going to teach the live launch method as you do the live launch method. And this is great. I attended the first one part-time and I got some benefit. The second time I attended, I was like, okay, this is what it's really about. It opened my eyes, but I also played full out. And I think that was a huge difference. When you do something and you fully commit, you really do get the benefit from it. And so I'd love for you to just tell viewers really quickly about what the live launch method is. And I have a link in my bio where they can go and register. So if you are like itching already to go find out what this is, there's a link in my bio to go register for the live launch method with Kelly and Amber. And you can go there that way. And Amber's going to tell us a little more about it.
Yes. Yeah. We have our next round of the free 5-day workshop. We kick off on February 1st. So I cordially invite all of you to attend. And I have to reiterate what you said, Larissa, regardless of if you go once, you're going to get something out of it, right? Because of the way that it's been designed. But I highly encourage you to play full out, because we have become so deliberate about doing the complete opposite of just giving you this kind of fire hose of information, and been really, really deliberate about designing this workshop so that it's a co-work, right? And we're implementing these action steps every single day together in live time. So what we want to do is actually, while we're doing this, teach you to develop and design your own live launch so that you can literally go out right after that and launch to your own people. And so we're really going to uncover everything, and some of this we've talked about just lightly, have touched on, but we're really going to go over how to identify and sell to the gap in your market. We're going to go over how to generate leads. How do we get people there, right? We're going to go over Facebook strategies. How do you grow that? How do you name it? How do you structure it? How much content should you be putting out? How do you transition into selling and opening up into an invitation for prospective leads to work more one-on-one with you and have that opportunity? So by the end of this workshop, you should have enough information to actually go out and do the thing right away, right? And we really position this so that, again, it's an active process. It's not you sitting in a class. This is very much so like a 3-part experience when you go through the live launch workshop. And so you get the live teaching from Kelly, the founder of the method herself. The energy is absolutely insane. You get a workbook, right? And then you get a concierge. You get somebody that is one-on-one, just like this, that's going to help you to walk through. They're going to brainstorm. They're going to strategize with you, right? They're going to get on the phone with you to start going over. This is going to...
We're losing you.
Oh, no.
Oh, there we go.
I'm here.
There we go.
I'm here. So it's really about making this an active experience so that you can go out and take action right away and have everything that you need to be successful. So I highly encourage each of you to attend. Again, we kick off on 2/1, February 1st. We go live at 12 noon Eastern Standard Time, and click on the link in Larissa's bio to get yourself registered.
Yeah, and I honestly have to say that the 3-part method where I really started utilizing the concierge, you were my concierge for that workshop. That made a world of difference. It was like me just showing up to something online, like taking another course. Like we've all taken 5,000 online courses during the pandemic. Like if you're watching this video, you've probably been in at least like 3 of them, but probably 10 of them. And it really makes a difference. And so that's something we're going to be implementing more strategically. We played around with the concierge idea in my last event. And I have to say, people were blown away. They're like, wow, they got so much out of the workshop, so much value, because it wasn't just showing up and listening to a video and filling out a worksheet. It's like, okay, here's how I'm applying it to my life, to my business. And I'm really investing my time in this. I'm not just eating lunch while kind of listening to something else. Like I'm really getting value from this, and I'm going to transform my life from 5 hours. Like from a few hours, you can literally have that transformation just because of those extra touch points. It's like, I don't know what to do about this. You send me a message right away. It was so quick. It was so beautiful. And it really did make that world of difference. So borrowing the concierge idea. So for my next event, stay tuned. We will have concierge, and they are eager. They are so excited about this. And I'm so blessed to have found you and for you to have like flown into my life. So if any of this has piqued your interest, anything Amber's talked about in terms of 10xing your business, this is not fly-by-night stuff. These are sound and solid strategies that they teach in business school, but you don't need to go get an MBA for it. This is like you learning it and applying the most relevant parts. You don't need to learn it all. You don't need to memorize it all and fill it out. You need to know how to find the right people and operate really effectively. And I think that's exactly what you guys do, so that it is sustainable and it does set the stage for that beautiful life, because I'm here for a beautiful life and I love my life and it's getting better and better. And I know you're here for a beautiful life, right? Like Amber's not just behind the camera on her phone DMing me, helping me out. She also has a life. She's got a beautiful son. She's got a beautiful home, and she is like a super mom as well on top of all this. But she's definitely there for you, and I can't be happier. So if you're interested, click the link in the bio to register. And I hope you do reach out to Amber if you do register for the live lunch method. If you want me to send a personal introduction to you, that's actually helped a lot of people. I've sent a few people your way. And that way I can hook you up directly with Amber, because she's very busy, very busy. But I can hook you up directly with her. If that's something you'd like, just send me a quick note and I'll make the introduction, and I'd be happy to do that. And she could answer any questions about your situation in particular. If you're like that kind of person that doesn't want to wait till February 1st to have a chat with her, to maybe get a tip or two that can help you move in your business. Like, she kicked my butt from our first call in a beautiful way. And I was like, okay, I am serious. And so I knew you were going to do that. I know, but you were so nice about it. But it really did push me. It was exactly what I needed to just tip the scales from being, oh, this is a really nice thing to do, to, okay, I do want to transform the world, and I'm not going to sit on the fence anymore. And so I greatly appreciate you for that. And
I knew you were going to bring that up, Larissa, but sometimes we need somebody else to believe in us and to kind of push us forward in order to get those results. And so I do want to kind of urge you and challenge all of you that might be with us or might be catching the replay later. And this is a question that I had to ask myself. I would challenge yourself by asking, is my business going to look the way that I want it to look? Am I set up and am I pacing to meet my goals for 2021 based on the outcomes I would get because of the decisions I made for the first 3 weeks of the year? And if the answer is no, I can do something better, then I encourage you, because you have time. You have time to make changes, but remember that the business is 90 days behind us, right? Which is why if we continue to make decisions from where we are now, we stay where we are now, right? So decisions we're making now, are already impacting Q2, right? So when we're talking about business, we've got to be making decisions based on where we want to go. And that comes back to putting yourself in the room with people who are doing what you want to do and have already started to forge that path. So this woman right here is a force. And if you do not know her and you have not worked with her, you need to send a message the minute you get off. the minute you get off, because you will not regret it. And you want to start making decisions for yourself based on where you know you can go, based on what your goals are. Start making sure that you're changing the behaviors to match the goals instead of the other way around. Reclaim 2021 as yours. Rewrite the story for your business starting today.
I'm taking that note because I love it. Reclaim 2021 as yours. That is beautiful. Yeah. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Any final words before we wrap up? I think this has been so, so valuable. I'm so excited and so happy and feel so blessed that you've shown up here.
Oh, no, thank you so much for having me. And I'm happy, you know, honestly, I'm just always so thrilled to spend time here and really connect with any of you at any time. So please don't hesitate to reach out. Again, to Larissa, who herself is an absolute master at what she does. I'm honored that she's a part of my life. But I want you to know that there is another way. Larissa and myself have both been where you are, right? And we know now what's possible. And it does take action and it does take hard work, but now is your time, right? So get real, really kind of get clear on what your goals are, get clear on that vision, get clear on your goals, get clear on the impact that you want to make in your own life. You know, Larissa and I both have little boys, so be clear about the example you want to set. What's your why? What's your vision? Who is your business going to be in the world? Who are you going to be in the world? How are you going to impact those lives? And then start to change the behaviors that need to be changed to match those goals. If the last 3 weeks of decisions aren't pacing you to meet those goals, now is your time. Take action now. Put yourself in a community that will support you, that's been where you've been, and walk the journey together, right? Those are my parting words, my parting loving words. If we can do it, you can do it.
Absolutely. Thanks again, Amber. And if anyone is interested in tuning into your live launch workshop that starts on February 1st, yes, check out the link in my bio. I will leave it up for a while. I'll definitely leave it up till February 1st in case someone sees this. I don't know if it'll be the same link next time, but I'm happy to refer. And if you want to meet Amber sooner, if you're one of these people that just can't wait 2 weeks, then reach out to me and I will hook you guys up one-to-one and make sure that you guys have a beautiful, beautiful experience together. So
sounds good. I look forward to it. Thanks so much again, Marissa.
Bye for now.
Bye-bye.